I reckon this is probably Denmark's side that we're going to face. They're not a great side. But Eriksen, in a roundabout way, not just because he's galvanised the squad and brought them together, but what happened to Eriksen has changed their shape. They were playing with a back four, with him in a sort of number 10 role behind Dolberg and Braithwaite. And they've changed that, and it's given them that bit more balance. And I think that has coincided with them hitting that bit of form, because I think through what was a tragedy, really, I think they've stumbled on a better way of playing. I think we've got enough to beat them. I really do. I think we've got enough to win competition. But there's just a couple of things that concern me with the way they line up. Firstly, it's that area in middle of pitch. 2 sitting players and 2 attacking players, but when they've been working together as a unit, when they've been attacking and when they've been defending, they've been going after the ball in like a group, in a little square, if you like, and chasing it down that way, especially when opposition get in their half. They're capable of doing it from front when they set a trap and press through Dolberg when he gives a signal. And that could give us some problems, because whether we play 2 holding midfielders or 1 holder and 2 in front of him, there's going to be times in there when we're outnumbered. And that's where it's going to be vital, I think, that whoever Southgate plays in the wide positions is going to have to tuck in and help when we lose the ball. To that end, I'm not sure he'll go with Sancho or Foden, for that matter. I've got a feeling he might go with Saka, because he's just got that bit more defensive side to his game. I think we might see Saka back in for that. Sterling will certainly start on the other side, because A, he's got that partnership with Shaw, but B, he does get back. So I think that's going to be vital. But this area in here, that is going to be tricky, whichever way we go about business. I like Mount. I think Southgate likes Mount. But Southgate's shown himself in this competition to be a bit of a pragmatist when it comes to it, like he did against Germany when he matched them up. I don't think he'll match these up, but I do think he will have his eye on that square in midfield where they've got those 4 players that can link together. Mount's good at nicking ball. I think Rice and Phillips will definitely play. I've just got a little inkling. I'm probably wrong, but I'm just thinking maybe Henderson will come in with that experience in there, because these Scandinavian sides, they're not afraid of doing a bit of old-fashioned 80s football and roughing it up a bit in the middle and going long when they have to. So we've got to be aware of that. And going long is another thing what concerns me. These won't be afraid when Walker and Shaw are pushing on to put a big ball in behind him, because that Dolberg is a willing runner, and they won't be afraid to give it big boot into space. If they're ceding most of possession to us, they will not be afraid of giving it that big one in there. What concerns me with that as well is, and we even saw it a couple of times against Ukraine, even though they were a poor side, but we still saw it a couple of times, and it's what I worry about with these is the full back here, the left back, and Ukraine did it, and it's that ball in here and the ball back out here, and this run around the edge. Ukraine did it 2 or 3 times, even though we completely dominated the game. There was no massive threat to us, but a couple of times they did that. But we know that Braithwaite, he's not really a winger, he's not really a striker, but when he gets in them pockets, he is dangerous. So the little 1-2s, and then he'll be looking to get in. Obviously, we've got Stones and Maguire. They're going to have to be aware of that. But Dolberg, does Rice get pulled in and pulling him? Again, on this side, Larson, we saw it in their quarter-final game, coming inside and winning them free kicks. And then 1-2s again, and him getting on outside. And the other thing is, they won't be afraid, like I said, of the big boot straight in behind. We're willing runners, him getting across after it, on either flank, and these coming in. So there's that's a bit of a concern for me as well. As I said, I think he might go with Saka above Sancho and above Foden, because I do just think he's got that little bit more of tracking back about him. And I think I'm right in saying he might have actually played fullback a couple of times. I'm sure my old mate JB, the Arsenal fan, will put me right there if I'm wrong. Sterling will start. Kane has easily got the beating of Jar. Is it Kiar? Jar? At centre, he's got the beating of him. I don't think he's actually all that. But it's this midfield area. I think that's where the game will be won and lost. And I do just wonder, will he put Mount in, or will he actually think about perhaps putting Henderson in and play more of a traditional 3 right across and making a sort of wall in there for when we do lose possession? That'll be interesting. Dolberg, like I said, he'll be looking to spin. And Maguire and Stones have got to bit the absolute best there for that counter-attack. And I think that's all they've got, is that counter-attack. But we've just got to be aware of it, because I think we're going to have line share of possession. I think they'll cede a lot at pitch. But like I said, these Scandinavian sides, we've had a lot of trouble with them in the past. They're never easy games for us. And they won't be afraid, if they have to go direct and go long and put ball in behind us. So, interesting game. Might be wrong. Let me know what you think. But I've got a feeling that's something like how it could match up. Like I said, the one thing I'm not sure about is maybe Henderson will come in, maybe on right of here, and Phillips in as a ratter in there. We might even see Rice, if Henderson plays with Phillips, we might even see Rice dropping in here and just doing almost a man-for-man job. And Sterling, Saka coming in and making a 4. So it'd be a 4 there with Henderson and Rice maybe coming in here, just so these guys can be aware of these diagonals. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Jim, stop being a negative bastard. I'm not being a negative bastard. I think you've just got to try and be aware, don't you, that danger, so that when it happens, you're not watching box screen. Oh, fucking hell, look at that space. And you do, don't you? Just be aware. Just a couple of things. Just them Marlon and Larson, them wing backs, just that little ball inside to them spare attackers and going for a return. Just got to be aware of that. That's all. That's all. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Just be aware of it. I don't think we'll match them up. I don't think we can match their system, really. We could, but I don't think they've had any proper time to work on it. But I think we're going to win. I really do think we're going to win. This is the toughest test that Denmark have had. Whereas I don't particularly think it'll be the toughest test we've had. You know, Czech Republic give us a game. Croatia did, even though we had a good start. Scotland did, you know. So we can beat these. We can beat these. The lads have got confidence. I've got confidence. Let's just be aware, because it's not all going to go his own way. Euphoric win over Ukraine, 4-0. Everyone's like, you know, it's on, we're on. Fucking, come on, it's coming home. I'm just like, it's not going to be our way for 90 minutes. There's going to be spells. It might only be 10 minutes, might only be 15 minutes, might be 5 minutes, but there's going to be spells when they get in, and we can't let it affect us. And we can't, oh shit. To that end, I'm not worried about players, I'm more worried about us watching it, you know, stress levels. Because Southgate, he's got them calm, hasn't he? Have you watched any of them YouTube videos that England FA set up? I can slag FA off all day. Do you know what I mean? There's been that many things over the years where I'm like, I've got no time for them. Credit where it's due, media team's really done the bit. I've got addicted to it. Do you know what I mean? I'm waking up in the morning, putting it on. I'm having my morning brew, my cornflakes, you know, watching lads have a game of, you know, pool volleyball whatever, water polo, everything, splashing about. I'm having a slice of toast this morning, watching John Stones and Harry Maguire doing the yoga session. It's great. And because of that, I don't know, I feel a connection to these lads. And what I can see in that camp is how relaxed they are. Massive, massive. The other thing is home advantage. 60,000 people is going to be at Wembley. That's a massive, massive thing. The second thing, which you don't really think about home advantage, but it is a massive, massive thing, is when you say home advantage, you think of the stadium, you think of the fans, and they're going to get tremendous backing. It's going to be fantastic, I'm sure. Their own pitch that they know, their own dressing rooms, everything. But it's not just that. They've been staying at that St.Georges Park. I'll put the link in. It's like an home from home for them. The facilities are fantastic. And the players look so relaxed. Honestly, there's none of that tenseness that you might expect. They look relaxed and prepared and calm. And I've said it in other videos, I'll say it again. Going to do out well, you've got to be relaxed, you've got to be calm. Denmark, living out of a suitcase in an hotel room somewhere. It's not the same. That is like an away game. It is being on road, down in breakfast in hotel lobby and all that cobblers. These are there. They've probably got their own rooms and everything. It's amazing. And so that home advantage, I've never really thought about before. It's not just the ground. It's everything else. It's been at St. George's Park all week. That side of being at home. I think we'll win. I think it'll be tight. These are no mugs. We've got the best of them, but they're no mugs. And like I said, Scandinavian sides causes a few problems with ears, and they won't be afraid to mix it up a bit, and they won't be afraid to go along in behind us, them diagonal balls, and get people after it. The two splitting attacking midfielders, Braithwaite and who is it? Damsgaard. He does sound like a proper warrior, doesn't he? Anyway, Dolberg as well, splitting in, so got to be on it. Every faith in Stones and Maguire already been playing well, but we'll do it. We'll do it. We'll get to that final. For the first time in 55 years we'll have been in a national championship final, and I have every faith we'll do it. But just don't panic if Denmark have them little 5-minute spells, because they will. Just don't worry about it. Just be aware of it. Scores on the doors. I'll put that video in with training. It's great stuff. Come on, England.